Hey all, welcome back to Mudstomp Solves. I've decided today, after my last puzzle, cardboard puzzle of the Zodiacs, that I've decided I'm going to get into the Dinotopia puzzle. So I picked this up just a little while ago. It's probably longer than I remember, to be honest, a few months I guess. But it's one that's been sitting there on my shelf waiting to be done for a while, mainly because it's Dinotopia, and anyone who's a millennial will probably be pretty interested in that, in the sense of, yeah, that was our big sort of introduction to a different world of dinosaurs. Not obviously the Jurassic Park introduction was the big one too, but this was sort of like, yeah, it was just living with dinosaurs, I guess is the way you'd put it. Really interesting stuff. This is a 750 piece puzzle. It is, if I can find it, it is about 37 centimeters by 76 centimeters. So we're looking at around, what would that be? I can never remember. Divide by 5. So 37 centimeters divided by 5 is roughly 7 times 2. So that would be about 15 inches by about 32 inches, somewhere in that vicinity, I think. But yeah, I don't know who produced this. It looks like it might be, oh yes, we've got Spears Games here. So that's a fairly common sort of thing from what I've started to figure out and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And to be honest, there's a couple more pictures here for the other parts of the book, which if I love this puzzle, I might actually try and see if I can find them online, because yeah, I like Dinotopia, and I think I'm going to try and find a copy of the book too, because I haven't had one in a while in my hands, and I really loved the book when I found it. So yeah, anyway, let's open her up, sort her out, and see how we go. Okay, so this is where I've gotten up to now. You would have seen up to about 100 or so pieces less than this. Excuse any background noise. Unfortunately, I have to watch a child while I'm doing this, but not unfortunately. You get what I mean. Anyway, so essentially what I've been focusing on, once I got to sort of where I was before this clip, off camera I wanted to work on it a bit more because I was just feeling a bit rough and needed to try and get some done. And so I transferred all the pieces onto one board. I realized that I could just fit this top section in down the side. So I've done that. I've focused on sort of trying to build around each of the little bits, looking for key pieces. I've gone through every single one of my trays and just grabbed whatever piece I can recognize. And in particular, I was hoping, and I managed to get a full connection from side to side at the top, and to fill out a bunch on the bottom. So it's definitely starting to look like, the picture in the puzzle, not just random bits. It has been interesting as I've worked on it, seeing more and more textures that I recognize. These bits I didn't build, I just sort of chucked them here because I want to work on that next. But Yeah, I'm going to probably do that next. And then after that, I'm not sure. I'm guessing I may work on this area up here because I know there's some pieces where there's like wood bits and that. I want to kind of work on the tree as there's dark pieces here and then light pieces there. That would fill out quite a bit. The dinosaur, I think, is actually going to be difficult because the pieces are sort of so blended in and that. I don't know. It was kind of interesting here because I thought this background wouldn't be very obvious, and I suddenly noticed the line going through here and managed to do all that. So that was quite nice. I think I might potentially, depending on how much of this and this works out, I might actually work on getting the greenery done around that and then try and do the sky bit here. So this might actually end up being sort of the last part that I finish. I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look and see what happens. And yeah, it's just it's looking great. I'm really enjoying it. I was a bit worried for a while, thinking that when I sorted it, it was really difficult to sort of catch a lot of texture and stuff. And in the end, it became very evident. This is a really good example of that, actually. These pieces having these lines through them, when sorting these pieces, they just ended up in like a green-grey pile or something. Whereas when I was looking through the pieces, it became very evident what that was. So yeah, it's just a beautiful puzzle, and the pieces are indeed detailed enough, as I was hoping, to really know where things go and things like that. And it blows my mind that as you look at more and more textures, things stand out, and it just is the most unexpected things. Like, for instance, this neck piece, those just became incredibly obvious once I'd been looking at a few of the stone and the other dinosaur bits and whatnot. And yeah, so it was just really easy to see where they would go and then place them. And even to the point where sometimes, I'm picking up a piece and it's like this bit was really hard to interpret on its own. But once I had all this built, when I picked it up, I knew what it was for. I knew where it went. It was really, just lovely recognizing that texture in that sense. So yeah, anyway, bear with us and let's see what else we can get up to. Okay, well, that was the end of that. I'm sitting at a bit of a different position today just because my desk is piled with a bunch of other stuff and I've just basically squished on the end. But I have the completed puzzle. So a few thoughts to go through, but number one, to begin with, it's a beautiful puzzle. It's quite a tall puzzle given it's 750 pieces and narrow in that sense. But it's actually been quite lovely that way because it's sort of, it's meant that sections of the puzzle have been very combined together or very close together. So there's not a great deal of spacing to try and figure out in between things. And that's meant that overall the build's actually gone really, really well. I do have two pieces missing, as you'll probably see in a second when I pick it up, but I knew one piece was missing because it's an op shop buy and they labeled it that way. But I had 2 accidents with the puzzle in the lead up to building it, and I think I lost another piece in that process, unfortunately. The first accident happened when I just sorted half the pieces, and my youngest child saw the dinosaur picture of the box and tried to grab the box or the stack of separator boxes, trays, and knocked a whole bunch of it over, and it ended up under my desk. And yeah, I think that's probably when I lost the piece. That being said, the second accident so you've seen Billy before in a lot of my videos, and we also have 2 kittens that we bought for my son's birthday and my daughter. And yeah, I had the puzzle set up somewhere on a couch or something and was working on it and pausing and working on it. And I had it between 2 pieces of foam board, usual size, and the kittens jumped on it and knocked it down basically off the couch, and it ended up in a pile on the floor. Fortunately, I'd only built a little bit of it, like the edges and a couple of little bits, like the neck of the dinosaur, I think it was, and stuff. So at that point, it wasn't like, it didn't wreck it. You know, I could put little bits back together, but for the most part, it was fine. But yeah, I think the first accident was when I lost the second piece. So go figure. Either way, reflections on the puzzle. So first off, sorting this was the kind of thing where stuff didn't stand out. I got about 5 different piles where it was like, essentially it was sky pieces, tree leaf pieces, tree branch type stuff. And then there was like a dinosaur pile and what I would call a humans pile, where there was human pieces, bits that I could tell were people and things to do with people, like the ladders and stuff like that. And then I think there was a dark pile, stuff that I just couldn't make heads or tail of. And it's crazy because when you look at the puzzle, everything together, it's so detailed and you can tell it all. But when you have those individual pieces, I couldn't tell. And that was weird. So it was actually between sorting and starting to build it was like I did the edges quite early, but other than that, I kind of started on it for a while because it almost seemed too daunting that I wasn't going to be able to differentiate the pieces. That being said, when I actually looked at it and really started getting into it, obviously I started with the people and things like that. But as I got through more and more of it, pieces started sort of standing out more and more. Different tones, different textures, etc. It's like the mountains behind the dinosaurs. In the box picture, it looks very sort of mixed and all of that, and it's just like, I don't think I'm going to be able to differentiate any of that. When I got to actually building it, it was very clearly obvious where the lines were and the different mountains and things like that. So yeah, this puzzle is just amazing, and it holds together really well. I'm looking forward to picking it up and showing you, because it's a sheet of cardboard basically. It's just beautiful. The pieces hold quite tight as well. I had a couple of mismatches which were really annoying to separate because the tabs peel really easy. The picture's very light on. I'm guessing there wasn't a huge amount of glue between the picture layer and the cardboard backing. So that was unfortunate. There's a few tabs that stick out and whatnot, and separating a false fit was bad in that way. But I only had a couple of false fits. The rest, it was very clearly obvious, and it went really, really nicely. Yeah, finding most pieces was actually really a joy. It was probably the top part was the worst. As you'll see, I did that last, but for the most part, it was that kind of thing where it was just a joy to do. It was a really nice puzzle. The pictures are amazing. Obviously, Dinotopia, the book and everything, it's just beautiful. I had a look online, and there's more of these puzzles, more of this set of puzzles and a couple other puzzles. I might get more of this set in particular, the 750 pieces. They're just lovely, and I'd love to glue them and hang them, to be honest. So I'm going to be keeping this for the time being. I don't know if I'll hang it eventually or not, but yeah. Actually, no, I do know what I am going to hang. I forgot. Yes, I am going to glue it and hang it, because my youngest son, who was enamored with the picture and knocked all the puzzle pieces down, he's obsessed with dinosaurs, and he's looking at this Brachiosaurus. So I am definitely going to be gluing this and hanging this in his room for him next to his bed. He's going to love that. So yeah, I'll do my usual method for gluing that with the stuff and the garden stuff that I use that I've shown in my previous videos. If you want to check one out really good for that, the Zodiac puzzle that got uploaded a little while ago, shows the gluing of that puzzle at the end. So it shows how I do it and everything. Very effective so far. I do need to use a bit more glue, I'm finding, because some of the pieces aren't sticking, and I've gotten better at doing it. So the earlier puzzles I did it with wasn't as good. The later ones gone a lot better. I'm also learning to hang them a little bit better with the hooks and things like that. But yeah, very effective method, to be honest. So rough run down, put glue on, put the layer of the material down, put glue over the top of it, and then I make 2 hooks out of some of the material and glue that on. And then I tape that just to make sure that'll stay on afterwards. The tape probably doesn't do that much, to be honest, but it's just my own peace of mind. But yeah, overall, again, this puzzle is just beautiful. If you can get a hold of any of the Dinotopia puzzles, I would 100% recommend them. These particular ones, and from I don't even think it's from a different company. I think it's from him, like the Dinotopia group, like the guy specifically, or the illustrator, whatever you want to call him. I think he must have done a deal with a company and got it produced or something, because I don't think there's an actual company on the box, just him. So yeah, honestly speaking, like this is it's just a beautiful puzzle, and again, it connects so well. I mean, looking at this, like it's one of those puzzles where it's just beautifully connected and just so easy to hold up and move and all of that. And I mean, not that you want to move a puzzle a lot or anything like that, but I really like it when they connect well. It's something about it that I just love it. I love the connection. I love the capability of moving chunks of it around without worrying about it falling apart, all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just, again, a beautiful puzzle. If you get the chance to try one of these Dinotopia puzzles, do so. There are plenty on eBay, that kind of thing. They're somewhat vintage, I think, so they're not the cheapest, but then again, many puzzles aren't these days, so it's not really any different, I don't think. But yeah, I would definitely highly recommend. So anyway, that's that. As per usual, if you're still with me and you're watching, thank you very much for watching. It is very encouraging to see the subscriber numbers go up and to get comments from you and stuff. There's a couple of people in particular, I'm starting to learn their names a little bit. I think it was Catherine something and another person. Both of you have had regular comments on my videos, and it just gives me joy to know that someone's watching and commenting and all of that. So thank you very much for that. Obviously, the aim is one day to get enough that I can get a membership thing going and all the rest of it, but it's just at the moment, it's just really joyful for me, really enjoyable experience to upload things and know that somebody's watching and enjoying at least part of the video and so on and so forth. So yeah, this one's probably, as I'm recording this, it's the end of March. I've got a couple of videos scheduled to come out in the next bit already, so this one's probably coming out, I'm guessing, closer to mid to late April when you're watching this. But there are big plans on the channel, and I am definitely trying to get through a bunch of the smaller things because I want to get into some of the bigger stuff. And I've got a surprise coming up for a really big puzzle. I have the 15K puzzle I want to work on, but I've got another slightly smaller puzzle that I'm going to work on in between. And that one's, going to be really joyful. I am hoping by the time this video comes out, it'll have been school holidays roughly, and I'm hoping to have built my bigger table and being able to film on that. So we'll see if that works out. I say that because I've got a table, but I'm going to build a top for it, and the top's going to be 1.5 by 2 meters, so I can fit basically up to a 9,000 piece puzzle on it. I'm still debating how I'm doing that because I've got pallet wood that I'm going to use for the base of it, but I'm looking at buying like thin MDF or something to cover it over the top so that the puzzle goes on a smooth surface. I'm also potentially looking at, like, I don't know what you would call it, laminating the top. I can't make up my mind on the surface. I could hypothetically felt cover it like my big green board. But the problem with that is I don't think moving the puzzle around and picking it up is easy with felt. The green board I have to hold with my hip while I pick things up. If you haven't noticed, it's the 2,000 piece puzzle that I've uploaded a couple of months back that shows that quite clearly. But yeah, I also don't want the puzzle to slide too easily. But then again, it's going to be a big heavy top, so it's not going to move around much. So yeah, laminate might be the way. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching, and do all the things if you'd like to keep me going. Like, subscribe, comment, etc. If you have one of these Dinotopia puzzles or you've ever seen one, I'd love to hear about it. I'm still debating on trying to figure out which other one I'd like to do first, but I'll find one eventually, I think. And then, yeah, otherwise I will catch you in the next video. So again, till then.